Hello and welcome to Cutting Through the Ball in the Post-Truth Apocalypse. I'm Ben and this week I'm hanging out with Mike.
Hello.
Claire.
Hey.
And Pete.
Hello.
Today we talk about the Skull and Bones Society, and I, for one, actually think this is like the new fucking Illuminati myself.
I thought the same thing. I did when I was reading up on it. That was my instant thought.
I watched two documentaries and did some reading, but the first documentary was only 15 minutes long and that was great. The second one was partially in German with subtitles, and I may have fallen asleep for half an hour in the middle.
Well, fair play for attempting it.
I watched the start at the end. Whereas it had subtitles, it was just... And the people they were interviewing were talking English, but the commentary was in German. I don't know why. I think there's something to this, but then again, I think there's something to all these fucking weird little... We don't have this so much in this country at universities, do we? But these little societies and... What are they called? Fraternities?
Fraternities, yeah.
Yeah.
Frat houses.
Yeah, you know,
Very American, isn't it?
Yeah.
Call me old-fashioned. I like to hang around with like women too, rather than just men.
Women are allowed in there now.
Oh, only because of DEI, Mike. They've got their one in Skull and Bones.
It's 91.
Wow. I missed that part of that documentary. I bet they haven't got any though.
You're allowed to join, but
We're not going to let you.
we haven't had any members.
Yeah. Well, there's only so many of them anyway, isn't there?
Yep, but we'll get into it.
Yes. So yeah, England's in the World Cup. It's still fucking hot in this country. Every good secret society needs an origin story, and Skull and Bones' origin story is almost disappointingly mundane. It doesn't begin with ancient bloodlines or a splinter cell of the Illuminati. It begins with sophomore level campus politics. How disappointing.
So what, 18-year-olds would that be?
Yeah, I guess so. 18, 19, sophomore, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is that the first year? Freshman's the first year.
Oh, right.
Then you get a sophomore, and then you're a senior. Is that right?
I think so.
American listeners can tell us. I'm not familiar with your school system. I just know that lots of you tend to get shot in them.
So the 19 or 20-year-old...
That tends to be the younger people, the younger kids, doesn't it?
Well, I'm just saying,
Not
a
so
lot
much the
of American
universities.
students get shot a year. It's not
Yeah,
their
it's
fault.
high school normally, as opposed to college, universities and things.
Charlie Kirk got shot on a college campus.
Good point.
He was a speaker, though. He wasn't a part of the,
No, nobody's on the campus.
Yes.
In the early 1830s, Yale's social and intellectual life ran through student debating societies, organisation like Linonia, Brothers in Unity, and the Calliopean Society, which all sound shit.
It's not as good as Skull and Bones.
No, you signed me up for fucking Skull and Bones, pal. These groups competed for prestige, and one of the most visible prizes on campus was membership in Phi Beta Kappa, the Academic Honour Society. Now, in 1832, a dispute broke out that year's Phi Beta Kappa's accounts differ on the exact details, but the short version is that a group of Yale men felt the process had been unfair, or at least unsatisfying. In other words, they weren't ejaculated to climax. They weren't wanked off to climax together.
The velvet glove.
With a velvet glove.
Which is what I expect, damn it.
You have high standards, sir, and I applaud them. Two of those men were William Huntington Russell and Alphonso Taft. Does anyone recognise the last name Taft?
Taft. I've heard that name from... Oh, where have I heard that name? Taft.
US President. Well, not Alfonso, but his son.
Right, okay. Yeah,
Alfonso isn't becoming president. William Howard is. He wasn't actually that much cop, was he, though, Taft?
I don't know. I don't know much about him, to be fair.
I don't think I was alive, was I?
No.
No.
Was it during Prohibition, was it?
I'm not sure if it was kind of turn of the century, kind of sort of 1870, 1880, 1880, 1890.
Well,
somewhere
yes,
in that.
because if this is the 30s,
That's a good point.
and it's his son, yeah. that
Yeah,
makes
so I
sense.
think you're talking like that stage where America's finding its feet a little bit.
Western side of America cowboys
starting-
and things
that-
starting
that's-
to disappear
that's
now.
it, it's getting-
the outlaw side of America is.
You've got the rail links coming in, well, already in because of the Civil War, but they're expanding them. You've got cities being built rather than...
They're getting hold of the people.
Yes.
They're starting to whip them into shape, so to speak.
It's been reunified, and now you've got the Western states and all the resources that then comes with. I mean,
and all the slaves that they had to fix everything for them.
now the slave is gone at this point.
Was it?
Yeah.
I
Civil
suppose, of course, it had.
Mm.
It had gone. What?
1865.
So it had just gone by this point then.
Well, 1868. End of the Civil War, whenever you want.
Well, it wasn't there though.
It wasn't at this
the
point, but
beginning, though.
I'd
Yeah.
imagine that black people still weren't treated particularly well.
They still worked.
Well, they still had no fucking rights till the 50s, didn't they?
They
Really?
got the vote.
60s
When did they get the vote?
in the south, didn't it?
In the South, if you're in the South, not good to be a black guy or black person.
So it wasn't.
If you're in the
across
West, you might get a
America
bit.
then. It wasn't across America that then. It was only parts of America that were really.
Yeah, it was the
shit
southern
on.
states, wasn't it?
Like no blacks allowed kind of thing in the.
South, yes.
Yeah.
I don't even think those signs were that polite, were they?
No. Remember, the Confederacy was the southern 12 or 13 states.
Yeah.
And
Some
the
of both
North
that.
was the rest.
It wasn't that mad. It wasn't that mad then. There wasn't all this no black zones and things like that there.
The
Not
North
in the north.
got rid of slavery.
Didn't have segregation there.
Didn't have
did
the
they?
You might have had a bit of segregation, but it wasn't to the extent the South had. So, yeah. And I'd imagine being a black person in the South in 1880, 1890 still wasn't a particularly pleasant experience.
Hmm.
But the West, well, a man can go out there and make his own living in the West. You've got the California Gold Rush,
Of course, yeah.
things like that. You can get a farm, you can get land. You might be a Civil War veteran and, have some prestige, at least some standing out West. We've all seen Blazing Saddles.
It's mad the colourful history that they've had in such a short fucking time, isn't it?
Mm.
It really is.
Yeah. So, anyway, these two guys, William Huntington Russell and Alfonso Taft, rather than keep fighting over an existing institution, decided to build their own in December of 1832. Russell and Taft, along with 13 other classmates, founded a new society.
So he'd have only been, 20 at this point then?
Ish, yeah.
Okay.
So he made his own club.
I'm going to make my own club with strippers and blackjack. They called it the Elogian Club, from
Elogian?
Elogian, from elogia, Greek for blessing or good speech. Its soft, almost pretentious name for what the group would eventually become. Before long, the society adopted a new emblem, a skull and crossbones stamped over the number 322. And to be fair, a skull and crossbones.
It just screams pirates, though, doesn't it?
Well, there's certain things it screams. At this point, it's screaming pirates, or it's screaming the Death's Head Lancers, the 8th and the 21st of the British Army. It's also screaming the Prussian cavalry, who had a death's head as their emblem, which obviously as you get into the 40s, well, the 30s in Germany, and you have the Nazi party, the Waffen SS, and you use the death's head emblem, the Totenkopf. So at this point, though, you're all right.
Years earlier,
At this
though,
point,
isn't
you're all right.
it? Yeah.
You can have that skull and crossbones. You're cool.
The only association at that point really would have been the black flag on a pirate ship, wouldn't it?
Yes, but all pirates flew a different variation of the skull and crossbones, didn't they? They all had their own little trademarked ones.
Or did they?
They did, yeah. Some had a full skeleton, some had a skull and crossbones, some had like a skull and like a crossbone. They all had, because you knew pirating, Mike, Claire P, is all about branding. Everything is about branding, but
Yeah.
pirating, if you're a famous pirate, you want people to know your flag. So when they see it, they think, oh, there's Blackbeard famously had the skull and crossbones. Oh, that's fucking Blackbeard. That fucking nut has got 13 pistols and candles in his beard. He takes no prisoners. We've got to surrender immediately.
Well, it was
Let us
dynamite-
go if we
It
surrender.
was dynamite wicks, wasn't it? He had in his beard. Like,
Yeah, so you know what I mean.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
all about the branding.
Fuses, that's the word I was looking for. Is this why like you nowadays Smiley pirates aren't very well?
No branding.
There's no. Yeah, they just don't have the.
There's no branding. There's no flair. There's no panache.
They should get Cartman along.
He should do. He did.
You've seen that episode?
Yes,
haven't you?
yeah. He did really well with them.
He did.
But I'm saying, if they started, having a bit of flair about them, people might respect them more.
South Park reference, if nobody else.
Well, when you said Cartman, I think most people.
You'd
got it.
hope most people would know that. Anybody listening to us should know that, shouldn't they? Really.
The 322 is a reference to a Greek Athenian leader, and I forget his name off the top of my head. We might come to it slightly later on. Who died in the year 322 when the Persians invaded and they sacked. Oh, sorry, the Macedonians invaded Athens. After having spent his life resisting their influence, they finally invaded and he committed suicide.
Well, I wouldn't name it after him.
But he was known as a very eloquent speaker.
Ah, right, okay.
And someone who spoke out against tyranny, the tyranny of Philip of Macedon and his son Alexander the Great. The name Skull and Bones stuck because, let's face it, it's a better name. And the Illusion Club has been a footnote ever since. And
Definitely sounds a bit limp-wristed, doesn't it?
they're all very into Greek philosophy, aren't they? These
all the toga fucking parties and shit
hey,
like that.
I will not hear a word said against a toga party.
Never done one.
We like a toga party, don't we?
I used to have toga days.
Remember that when I first come onto the pod and we had we talked. I can't remember what episode it was. We talked about togas, didn't we?
Yeah.
We were going to get a toga.
Sure.
I've been meaning to revisit it and just have a listen.
We should actually just do an episode wearing togas, especially in this heat.
What, as opposed to nothing like I'm wearing now? Oh, you want me to cover up? Is that what you're saying? is that just telling me don't want to see my junk?
We've been hinting for a long, long time.
Subtly hinting. Is it really necessary to wear those assless, crotchless chaps?
I'm just trying to keep cool, man.
I'm sure the police should have arrested you by now.
Good job we didn't set the webcam up like we were going to, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. So, here's a detail that matters more than it sounds like it should have fun. So, Taft's son was William Howard Taft, who would grow up to be the 27th President of the United States and later Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. The Society's very first membership class had already planted a seed that would flower into the Oval Office 3 generations later. And if you're looking for the moment Skull and Bones stopped being just a college club and started being something people whisper about, that's probably it. Is when, the son of one of your founding members ends up being president. And the organisation formalised itself further in 1856, incorporating as the Russell Trust Association, which is a legal entity that owns the tomb, as it's known. The building at 64 High Street, it's got Gothic-style towers. It looks like a tomb.
It does.
A very big tomb, but a tomb nonetheless. It's not hidden or buried in the woods or underground. It sits in plain sight in the middle of one of America's most prestigious campuses, which probably just makes it a little bit more unsettling. They don't need to hide away, but... Since 1832, the Society has followed the same basic structure. 15 members are selected from each year, always from the junior class, always to serve during their senior year. That's it. 15 people every year for almost 2 centuries.
So we were right then with what we said about the stage they're at in college then.
Yeah.
They're literally that middle class.
Yeah.
Get picked from that one to go into the...
So even after 200 years, still remarkably small membership.
So it's still only 15 people a year?
Yep.
So after that year, what, they just leave?
I presume they go as to be like, when they're seniors, they're like the leadership of it.
Then they pick the next 15.
They pick the next 15.
But that's it then. So it's only a 2-year membership then, or a year and a bit's membership, or whatever.
I think it's 3 years. I think they pick it says the junior class.
Oh yeah, these guys are picking the juniors, so...
The first years.
Right. And then by the time...
And they serve the 3rd or 4th years. I don't know how long college is.
Yeah, it's probably about 12 years, though, in America.
Not judging on the fucking education standards.
God, they don't finish school till they're about 30, do they? Look, you watch any.
It is mental,
You
isn't
watch any
That's because they've
American
got
program.
30-year-old actors playing teenagers, Pete.
I was going to say, you watch any fucking program when they've got in a school, the lads have all got full on fucking beards and shit, and it's like they've all got muscles. Like,
Look.
you don't develop like that until you're like over 18 at
Hey,
least.
Stifler was 30 and playing an 18-year-old. Beverly Hills 90210, they're all fucking 50 playing teenagers by the end.
Yeah, Pete, fact check it. How old are you when you go to college in America?
Well, you're 18, aren't you?
I think
Until
so.
when?
21, I believe.
So, it's probably in the range of a few thousand living and deceased members combined, and that scarcity is the old engine of the mythology. When something this small produces this much power, people start asking why.
Well, we know why, don't we? They're all connected.
Well, yeah, they're all fucking American. The
They're all
Americans
wealthy.
The Americans got rid of the royal family and just replaced it with an unofficial royal family.
An oligarchy.
Yeah, the wealthiest people in the country are. I mean, I'm surprised they've never given themselves fucking titles like Dukes of New York, Barons of Boston, all that. I am genuinely surprised they never fell into that trap. But they didn't
Well,
need
they
to.
can't, can they?
No, I suppose they
They
can't.
separate from the king because of that. That was their excuse.
Yeah, but when you get enough money and enough of your mates are in power, come on.
But it goes against all your founding fucking documents, doesn't it?
Yeah, but come on, it's like they make amendments to the
They
Constitution.
don't need it, do they?
No, they don't. They've got the money. They've got the. I mean, look at like you go to
Power of the
you go to the
influence.
Gilded Age. You got people like Benjamin Guggenheim and John Jacob Astor, and John Jacob Astor effectively owns New York. He's that wealthy. He owns all these fucking slum tenants. He's got the New York Astoria Hotel, the most luxurious hotel in New York. All the high society comes to him anyway. You don't need to be baron, do you? I suppose you got the money. Doesn't matter. You are in all but name. Well, Yale's got a long tradition of senior society. Skull and Bones is the oldest. It's joined by others like Scroll and Key, founded a decade later in 1842. Organisations like the Wolf's Head, Buck and Snake, Basilius and Elihu, together with a couple of others. They're sometimes called the Ancient Eight, but Skull and Bones has always been considered the most prestigious and most mysterious. So since 1879, new members have been selected through a ritual called Tap Day. They don't dance. Just throwing it out there. Historically, it worked like this. On a specific day each spring, current members of the society would fan out across campus and physically tap a chosen junior on the shoulder, sometimes saying only, "Skull and Bones, do you accept?" I'd be like, yes.
I wonder how many people say no.
I'm definitely down for it. Come on, you're at Yale. You're already one of the country's fucking wealthy. And someone taps you on the shoulder and says, "Skull and Bones, you accept?" You're like, fuck yeah, I'll be president one day.
Typically 4 years for college in America, so you'd be 22 for a bachelor's. But you have to be in high school till you're 18, and then you go on to college.
Well, we do that now, don't we?
We do high school until 16, and then from
Oh,
16 to 18, it's college.
But further education is more compulsory now, isn't it?
No.
To 18.
No,
I thought it
you
was.
are right. You
Are they?
have to stay in education of sorts
Whether that be a
until you're 18.
modern apprenticeship, A levels,
Exactly.
etc.
You either go on to do you either go on to college, stay on in sixth form, or go and do an actual apprenticeship. But that's it. You have to stay in education of some form till you're 18.
Didn't know that.
So our schooling has become very Americanized, hasn't it? With all the academies and things like that. So it was the only way it was going to go. Simple as.
I quite like the idea.
It's not a bad thing, but I do think as soon as they finish, then they need to do 2 years of national service. Service. At 18 years old, 2 years national service.
Would you have that only as military, or would you have it as community service as well? So maybe like ambulances, things
definitely.
like that.
I'll be up for that, as long as it's not strictly military.
Police, fire, ambulance.
I think people should be forced into it.
And military. No, I think they should, because it teaches. It's only for 2 years, and you're at such a young age. You get paid fucking well, and it teaches such discipline. Whether you like it or not, you come out a better person. definitely
Get
do.
them kids off the streets.
It would solve so much.
I love how the people old enough for national service
Yeah.
and not too old to get called up, fucking call for it.
I would have gladly done it.
I'd have done it at 18.
As you know, I wanted to join up when I was like fucking 14. So
I would have hated it. You would have gone, wouldn't you?
Oh, I'd have got on board with it. I think there should be, you know, if you go into university or you've got another chosen route, I think it should only be for the people that...
No, because then you go into national service after university, but you would go in as an officer.
No, what you would do is you'd have what they do anyway. They have the university cadet corps.
Yeah.
So you do 2 years in
officers,
like training to be an officer, wouldn't you? Basically.
But what if people that want to be doctors? It takes 7 years, doesn't it? They got to wait another 2 years at 18. With 27 by the time they finish.
You go into the Army Medical Corps.
You might not want to.
Or you.
Yeah, but that would be part of your that would count as like 2 of those 7 years. Within that 2 years, you'd be doing lots of all the medical training that you'd probably do anyway in the first 2 years. There'd be lots of easy ways around it, but you'd be using all services anyway. So if you wanted to be a doctor, you'd be going into the National Health Service to work through there and do your first 2 years of university, but on the job working for the National Health Service.
Well,
and
if you
want
do the military, is it?
No, but this is
We
saying
said
national
you should do it.
service.
National service, expanding away from the military.
Well, yeah, I said that. I'll be up for that.
Because that's what we were saying.
Yeah.
You also use like civil services as well.
You could do the
So it's
civil
like,
service.
yeah.
I mean, you
Like
know, there's always going to be
police.
people who can't do the physical stuff.
Yeah. People with flat feet, things like that. There's a
Bone
reason they can't
spurs.
go into the forces and things. But no, I do believe at 18 there should be some form of national service for 2 years minimum, either military or, like we said, like a civilian role. But it has to be something for the country that's only.
Look, even if he was going out with the council and cutting edges, you know, that'd be something.
Yeah, but then what would you do with all the people that are on community service?
Well, you just use them as slave labour.
Sail them into the North Sea and sink them.
Fucking hell, Mike.
Anyway,
Community service.
Well, good. That's not much of a community service.
that was enough of a tangent as well,
Yeah.
so we should carry on.
So the people who get tapped tend to fit a pattern that's been fairly consistent for almost 200 years. You know, campus leaders, historically, that means the football team captain, the editor of the Yale Daily News, the president of the student government, a champion athlete or two, and a handful of students from socially prominent or wealthy families. In other words, Skull and Bones has never really tried to find hidden talent. It's just took what's there and, you know, give it a career trajectory. These people, you know, if you're, you know, from the socially prominent and wealthy, then you're already going to do all right, aren't you?
Yep. But they still get these fucking, you know, all this help, don't they?
Of course you do. Got to help each other out, and you scratch my back, I'll scratch
That's
yours.
why they're all fucking
Yeah.
so wealthy, and that is because they each scratch each other's backs and just keep the money within that tiny little circle. It builds and builds and builds.
Yup.
And that's kind of the point of these societies, I guess, because then once
course it
they
is.
finish college, they've got their connections with each other, and then they've already kind of boosted because they've been given this like crazy fucking I don't know what it's not a title, is it? But maybe
You're a
used on
bonesman.
your CV kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? When you're leaving,
Bonesman.
when you're leaving college, looking for your first job, you've got your bachelor's degree in whatever it is you're doing, and you're looking for a job in that, and you say, "Yes,
It's an old Skull and Bones.
I've got this special ring, and
You've got the ring, yeah.
You
You've
shake their hand.
You've got the
and
fucking ring.
and show the ring, and
Yeah,
the guy's like, you're one of the chosen ones.
You get the job.
I will take you on. You know what I mean, though? But then you've got
won't
these
work for him.
15, you've got these 15 people then that go out into like enterprise in like the big companies, the oil companies, whatever. People of
Newspaper editor.
companies of power, so to speak.
Oh, you know, that's it.
Is that the whole point of this?
Government.
Well, look at this, right? Yeah, so you're the editor of the Yale fucking Daily News, and you're in Skull and Bones. Well, aren't you walking into any fucking newspaper in the country and one day becoming boss?
Yeah.
Because
Well,
the
certainly
guy
the
the guy who's fucking editor now of the New York Times was a boneser himself.
That's it,
Yeah.
Taking you straight on, isn't he? Grooming you for his job.
Yeah.
Or in other ways.
Well, that's what. That's what I mean. So over the years, these 15 fan out go to these specific places, and yeah, they show their ring. Maybe could be taken in a couple of ways, and depending on who the people are, maybe they do show the other ring. That's probably part of the fucking initiation anyway, isn't it? Where's those paddles?
So, oh yeah, it's all about the paddling, isn't it? So for most of its history, this meant the society looked uniformly like the ruling class of 19th and 20th century America. White, Protestant, wealthy, male.
Oh, is there no black people in it?
Not until 1965.
Okay.
And women in 1991, and even then only after a genuinely bitter internal fight.
Ugh.
But how many women have been admitted, I don't know. We'll never know. None of the members own up to it.
Right, okay. So it really is secret society, isn't it?
Yeah. I listened to a journalist ringing up, I think he was a congressman, and he's like, so you went to Yale? And he's like, yeah. You were in Skull and Bones, were you? Nope. Can't tell you. Couldn't tell if I wanted to. We don't talk about that. I mean, it doesn't talk about that.
Oh, anyone could play that old game, couldn't they? Oh, we don't talk about that.
But
And
so
then just
does it
make
even
them
exist?
think
Well, yeah, it could
you've
do.
been in it.
does it even exist? How do we know it exists?
Because certain people have tattled a little bit.
Because someone has spoke about Fight Club Pete.
Yeah.
Right. But what was the first rule?
Don't talk about Skull and Bones. What's the second rule? Don't talk about Skull and Bones.
Third rule is
Everyone gets drunk.
yeah.
Now everybody fights, especially if your first night.
Yeah.
So once inducted, members meet inside the tomb twice a week, traditionally Thursday and Sunday evenings for the entirety of their senior year. Now what happens inside those meetings is where documented history runs out and rumour takes over completely. We do know a few things with reasonable confidence, pieced together from the accounts of former members over the decades and a small number of leaked internal documents. New members are reportedly required to deliver a lengthy oral biography to the group, essentially confessing significant, sometimes intimate details of their life story to their 15 new, quote, brothers, whilst lying naked in a coffin.
Well, there had to be something sordid involved, didn't there?
Of course they did. The idea, as it's usually described, is less about humiliation and more about forced intimacy. By the time you've told 14 strangers your most personal secrets, they're not strangers anymore. They're bonded to you, and just as importantly, you're bonded to them. It's a mutual vulnerability.
And sharing semen between each other is probably part of it as well, I'm guessing.
If that's the case, they probably wait for Bohemian Grove for that. To be fair.
What's that even mean?
Bohemian Grove?
Yeah.
That's another secret place in upstate California where the elites go.
Ben's been.
God, neither in a position to deny nor confirm. But they do this whole weird occult ritual. There's a giant statue of an owl, and they chant to Molech. They perform a ritual called the cremation of care, where there is what's supposedly a casket that's set on fire with nobody in it. Allegedly, and a audio recording of someone screaming comes across the speakers while they're being burnt in front of a giant owl god.
And they say this like
cremation of care. There's a chant where you're getting rid of the cares you have and basically just, looking forward to the next year.
You have priests that recite this text.
Ben does know a lot about this subject though. I think he's been.
You can see it online.
Yeah.
What, me on there? Fucking hell, have I had the robe on?
Alex Jones, of all people, snuck in.
Yeah, Alex Jones in his early
Yeah, in
days.
his early days and recorded it.
No way.
Yeah.
So
Mark
is there
Ronson.
someone in the coffin?
I bet there is.
You don't
They
know.
play it over a speaker. A likely story.
You don't know if there's someone in the coffin. It is a very weird ritual that goes back a long time, and at some point there probably would have been someone being burnt alive if you go back far enough. But nowadays, I don't know. How evil are these fuckers?
All these
very
priests
evil.
in hoods. They're doing all this like ceremony in front of everybody. That it's like on a lake. Everyone's sat round a lake, like an amphitheatre.
I have seen this thing about 30 times
Are you out?
in different depictions of every single, like, demonic bloody cult thing. That's what they all do. They all wear the robes, they all have the fires, and they all have lights by a pond, and they all chant and walk around with little fucking fire sticks in their hand.
Full moon.
They're not doing the fire stick things, they're just all sat around watching it.
Should we show it them?
Yeah.
So yeah, we're just showing them Bohemian Grove. You haven't seen it, have you?
No, I hadn't seen it.
I want to go, man.
Yeah, it's a bit weird, isn't it?
Yeah, fucked up.
Mutual vulnerability as well is a powerful thing, because if you're all like, if you just confessed your deepest, darkest secrets to 14 other strangers, and they've all done that in turn, you're all bonded by vulnerability there. You'll never betray each other because you'll be betrayed in turn.
Yeah.
Sounds a bit like Scientology, that.
Well, exactly.
They're getting to tell you, like, your deepest, darkest secrets, and it's all fucking written down, and then they literally have loads of ammo on you. Hence why people like John Travolta and Tom Cruise and that are so far in there, because I think they can't leave.
I also think it's got loads of money they want to rinse at home.
And knowledge is power, isn't it?
I
mean, that's the same with Christianity and Catholicism, the priests.
But when knowledge is like
confessions,
fiction, when knowledge is fiction, how can it be power?
I thought Scientology you had to pay to go up a level.
Yeah,
you do, yeah. So they rinse them out the money, but they still know all that shit about them from when they've done the.
That's what I'm on about, Pete. The knowledge of everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. Deepest, darkest secrets of people. You can blackmail them, can't you?
Yeah. That
well,
side of the knowledge.
They know yours.
Yeah.
You know, no one's breaking ranks. So yeah, things get murkier and more theatrical, and we're going to go into the specific initiation folklore, coffins, nicknames, a little bit in the episode. So whatever actually happens inside the tomb, it's real power that was never really about ritual theatre. It's about turning these strangers into permanent, lifelong network. One that we're about to see has quietly threaded itself through nearly every major institution in American life. And this is where Skull and Bones stops being a quirky campus curiosity and starts looking like something genuinely extraordinary. Because of its list of alumni, known as Bonesmen, it reads like a syllabus for a class called 20th Century American Power.
So, right, alumni, where does that word come from?
Latin.
For...
like members of a group.
Okay.
Brother, organisation.
So would you think that Illuminati is the alumni, is that part of that word?
No, Illuminati is illuminated ones, yeah.
Okay, so it's nothing to do with like a brotherhood or sort of something, using within the word. Do you know what I mean?
When the Illuminati was supposedly formed the first time, there's the Bavarian Illuminati was formed in the 1700s, but if you have the first one from the Renaissance, the church are actively trying to suppress science in favour of the Bible. So you end up with a group of people who are like your free thinkers, your Da Vinci's, your academics, your writers, your poets who are
allowed to say whatever they wanted, basically.
They could meet
confined.
They could meet up in that room where they all met and discuss these ideas without fear of being ridiculed or being dobbed into the Swiss Guard.
That was the start of it.
Yeah,
and then
it's
it
a real
went
thing,
darker.
Apparently, the Bavarian Illuminatis. I don't know. I
don't know if I think the Illuminati is a catch-all, isn't it?
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily mean it stemmed from that.
It's almost like the Robin Hood. It's like it's a title that's been given to that kind of sect of things, maybe.
Yeah, there's some evidence of that. Yeah.
So let's start with the most obvious headline: 3 U.S. presidents. A Bonesman. William Howard Taft, the son of co-founder Alfonso Taft, 27th president and later as Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, the only person in American history to hold both offices. And then generations later, you get the Bush family. George H.W. Bush was tapped in 1948, went on to become CIA director and then the 41st president. And his son, George W. Bush, was tapped in 1967 and became the 43rd president.
So that's how...
They tapped him a little too hard, didn't they?
So that's how he became president then. It was nothing to do with the fact that he was the right man for the job. It's because he's been fucking pushed through by this system somehow. Because let's face it, he was as thick as 2 short planks and as short as one as well. But he
Up
was
to Trump, and I don't know what Trump's officially is, because Trump claims he's got like an IQ of fucking 150. I don't know. Trump claims a lot of things. Who can say? I think George W. Bush was somewhere in the 90 mark.
Oh,
so
dear.
barely average.
Very average, yeah. But remember when he came
It's
into...
very obvious.
I think it's below average, isn't it?
Yeah. It's about 100, isn't it? 110
When
average.
he came into his presidency, remember, you hadn't had 9/11, and he came in very much as an educational president. He ran on getting kids to read because
he couldn't.
Because he wanted, that was he ran on education.
Yeah, he was in it at peacetime, I suppose.
The
wasn't
education
it,
system done failed me.
Yeah.
He could hardly talk, let alone read,
Well,
could he?
that's probably from the years of alcohol abuse.
Possibly.
Being a party boy in Skull and Bones.
He just didn't come across well, did he? Let's face it. But they loved him for some reason for
I
quite a
felt
while,
a bit
didn't
sorry
they?
for him because he got stuck with this thing. He made some very bad decisions about who he appointed. People like Cheney, who was just a war hawk, and who clearly wanted to invade the Middle East under some pretense, and
found one.
Whether and how much did Bush know about 9/11? Probably not a lot.
What was that book he was reading to the kids at the time?
My Pet Goat.
Oh yes, because he was in a school, wasn't he?
He was.
Yeah, that's right. Primary school.
I mean, obviously, you go down the route that 9/11 was one giant occult ritual. Lot of coincidences in that theory, but we did talk about that. Might go into it in a bit more detail maybe one other day. Obviously, then you get George H.W. Bush's granddad, Prescott Bush, who was not only a US senator, but also pretty much sort of was the first head of the CIA.
So, like I thought earlier on, these guys go on to very prominent positions.
Yeah, and if you go to 2004, that's the election year that turns the whole secret elite idea from a conspiracy into a talking point. Because in a genuinely bizarre documented fact in that race, the Republican nominee was George W. Bush. The Democratic nominee was John Kerry, who was also tapped into Skull and Bones in 1996, one class ahead. 1966, one class ahead of Bush. Two men who had once sat in the same secret society, confessed their secrets under the same roof, walked out onto a debate stage as rivals for the presidency of the United States, and neither one of them would say a word about what the society actually does. When reporters pushed both campaigns on it during the election, the answer was essentially silence on both sides.
That's the way it's meant to be, isn't it?
Well, that was your choice in 2004 as an American. No matter who you picked, it was going to be a Skull and Bones guy.
Yeah.
Mad that.
So much for democracy, innit?
Yeah.
Is that how democracy dies, Mike? With rapturous applause?
This is kind of how I feel about our political system at this moment, though.
That's because you listen to too many people on Facebook, mate.
No, really, because we've not voted for the Prime Minister that's about to become
Prime Minister. You don't vote for the Prime Minister, you vote for the party.
No.
That is how it works. I'm sorry, it just is.
But you do also vote for the person as well, because if the person's a complete fucking plank, generally you don't vote for that person.
If that sways your vote, then it doesn't. I look at what the policies they have that will benefit me.
Oh yeah, but there is definitely an element
got an argument
of the person
why it shouldn't be changed.
Ben's
right, that's the way it is.
Oh yeah, it's the way it is, but
I think it's good to have a likeable Prime Minister.
Yeah, and that's the point though.
Well, we tried having an unlikable one and that didn't work.
But we all liked him at first, didn't we? We thought we liked him, which is why a lot of people...
No. I think we can...
I'm not saying we as in me, I'm saying as in the royal we, as the country. We voted for him.
No,
we voted for the...
No, we voted not for Conservatives.
Yeah, we voted for the change. Yeah,
we voted because the Conservatives had
But he never appeared as Keir Starmer the wanker, as everybody knows him now.
They didn't know him.
But this is my point, but he didn't come across as that at the beginning. He did come across quite sound. So people did he had a lot more likability than the other candidates he was going up against.
There was also a lot of social media and media campaign against him, the same as there was against any person in opposition or a Prime Minister.
Oh, yeah.
The press in this country is traditionally right-wing. The majority of it.
He should have been all right with him, shouldn't he? He's not a fucking left-wing Prime Minister.
Just look which way the press is now. Well, was swinging. It's starting to swing back a little bit. Anyway.
Prick's gone now. Fuck him.
Yeah.
It's not gone quite yet.
He's on the way, isn't he? The next few days he'll be gone, won't he, hopefully?
Yeah, when we come into August, yeah. Beyond the Oval Office, the list of Bonesmen sprawls into nearly every major institution. Beyond the bushes, Bonesmen have held senior roles across the CIA and the broader intelligence spectrum of the US and the diplomatic apparatus over the decades. Alumni have also served in cabinet level roles. Stephen Mnuchin, tapped in the mid-80s, served as the US Treasury Secretary under the Trump administration decades later. Several Bonesmen have gone on to serve as federal judges, and the Society's list of alumni includes Supreme Court adjacent legal figures stretching back generations, starting, of course, with Taft himself. Then we get into finance. Of course we do. This is where the Society's fingerprints really start to show up in unexpected places. Bonesmen have held senior positions at institutions like JP Morgan and other major financial houses since the late 19th century.
I'd argue it's not unexpected, though, is it? It's expected.
It's very expected. Pierre J., tapped in 1892, became the first chairman of the Federal Reserve Bank of New York, arguing one of the most powerful unelected financial positions in the country, held by a man who once confessed his secrets in the tomb. And then, of course, you get into the media. Because, you want someone to butter your way up there, don't you?
Well, I think it's like putting feelers out, isn't it? They're just,
It's putting key prominent people in positions of power that can influence what goes on in the country.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you've got government, intelligence, finance, media. Well, they're your big four, aren't they?
And then you've got years upon years of putting people in these strategic places.
That's it. You go for an interview at JP Morgan. The boss is a former Bonesman. You knew his fucking son. His son's the one that tapped you. So my son says great things of you. Yeah, here's the job. Groom him. Come in as VP.
I don't even think that. You'll probably find it doesn't finish when they leave college. They are still members.
Yeah, they're always.
But not active, because that's just the recruiting side that we know about. Is just the recruiting side.
They probably meet up every year.
Oh, yeah. That kind of thing that what was it called? Bohemian
Grove.
That's probably the kind of thing they all do. There's probably a couple of thousand of them join up, and each year there's 15 more.
Yeah.
Until they die, and
that's it. They're replacing the dead ones, aren't they?
Yeah.
Member for life, aren't you? I got asked to join the Masons. I said, "Well, do I get to wear a robe when you tell me a secret?" And he went, "No." I said, "Well, I'm not interested."
No, because we just build bricks, mate. We wanted to know if you wanted some new bricks.
Well, no, if I don't get to wear a robe and you're going to tell me some big secret at the end, I'm not really fucking interested.
Yeah. Come on, what's in it for me?
Well, there's got to be something, hasn't there?
Yeah.
My ex's dad used to be Grand Master at the Birmingham Lodge.
And he never asked you to join.
Of course he didn't.
Would you have?
Of course not.
Because the same reasons as me?
Well, no, because I don't agree with them.
You don't agree with secret societies?
I don't.
I think they just think that they're better than everybody else, don't they?
That's
why it's a secret
I think we live in a free
society.
society. I don't believe that secret society should exist where people.
If I was asked, I'd join just briefly to see what the fucking crack was.
You're in for life. You're in or you're not.
What happens if you're not then?
Well, who's to fucking say?
Yeah.
Either ruin you.
If
you go remember,
off.
You've just given your deepest, darkest fucking secrets to somebody.
Yeah, but I'll just make them up. I'll just be like, I got bit by a dog on my nostril. And
that's not really a deep, dark secret.
Or my I nearly lost a bollock.
No, you're naked in a coffin, they can tell.
Okay, very good surgeon. I got raped by a small Alsatian when I was 7.
But I secretly enjoyed it. Yeah, the media, so...
Thanks for sharing, Pete, by the
way. Not again!
It was only a small Alsatian.
The Society's network extends to publishing and media leadership. You go into culture, science and beyond. It's not all bankers and senators. Bones have included pioneering scientists, university presidents, including the founding president of Cornell, and recently more cultural figures like actor Paul Giamatti, whose father, A. Bartlett Giamatti, was president of Yale and also a bonesman.
Any of them get into porn? Because
I don't think they've ever got to that point
where
they need to.
A bonesman should get into porn, definitely. You know what I mean?
Well, you know what, Pete? I think you're right.
Just on the title.
But, I mean, who's to say if, some of the less prominent members don't have OnlyFans?
You'd get some really good porn, names, wouldn't you, though, as a bonesman? Like, for the not their names, but the actual show, the name of the show, they'd come up with some really good ones.
Bonerific.
Also, and anything that you can put boner with, or bones, or...
Well, you definitely do it all in some kind of... You'd be doing a lot of ritual porn, wouldn't you?
There's going to be lots of cloaks involved, isn't there?
Yeah. Vestal virgins and all that.
Yeah.
Wanking with velvet gloves.
Wanking with velvet gloves. Never wanked with a velvet glove, to be honest. Am I missing out? You seem to be going on about it a lot.
Well, apparently, sandpaper ones are really good.
Really?
Yeah.
I won't give that one a go.
You sure?
Yeah.
Oh, tried.
I quite like not having my penis degloved.
That'd be horrible, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Oh.
I enjoy it where it is.
Do you have a collection of velvet gloves, do you, Mike?
No, but I want some.
Well, it's back to Skull and Bones.
You're good at making clothes and things, Claire. Make him some velvet gloves.
Velvet wanking
I've
gloves.
got silk gloves, Mike.
Only one.
Silk glove will do.
All right, Michael Jackson.
Would a silk glove do?
Oh,
Harder
I'll
to
give it a
wash,
go.
I guess.
Might not get the friction you need with a silk glove.
Very smooth,
You
though,
do.
wouldn't
You do. You want a second hand silk wanking glove, do you?
it? You're left or right-handed. Because Claire might have a pair and she might only use one.
I have got a pair.
Oh, shit.
Ambidextrous, mate.
Right, so it doesn't really matter then, does it?
When one hand tires, the other takes over.
Wow.
Let's get on with it.
Is this a Skull and Bones induction? Fucking hell. Here's the thing that separates Skull and Bones from an ordinary alumni association, though. It's not just a lot of powerful people who happen to go to Yale. It's also plenty of powerful people who go to Harvard, too. But no one's making Harvard documentaries. No one's making documentaries with the Harvard Alumni Association. But that's the density and lifelong exclusivity of it. 15 people a year forever. A shared, secret, formative ritual. A private retreat. Oh, there we go. Deer Island. The 40-acre property the society owns on the St. Lawrence River. Reportedly used for members to reconnect over the years.
There you go, then.
They're worshipping an owl god, aren't they?
They are. A culture of absolute decades-long silence, even from men who otherwise have spent their careers giving speeches and testifying before Congress. And it's not that Skull and Bones necessarily creates power, it's that it identifies people who are already headed towards power at age 20 and then binds them for life through a shared secrecy and then quietly but deniably keeps that network humming in the background for the next 50 years.
Kind of call a bit of bullshit on that because we'll go back to fucking Bush.
No,
you know what I mean?
Well, if they're inducted at 20 and you've got a good 50 years out of them, haven't
but
you?
he wasn't showing no promise at 20-year-old.
His family had, though. That's the thing. It's his family. He got the wealth, the connections. They can push little George into wherever they want.
Didn't he have a brother or a sister?
There was Jeb Bush.
So why didn't he pick them?
He was more of an idiot than George, wasn't he?
I don't know much about Jeb.
Jeb.
Impossible to have been more of an idiot than George.
He was governor of Florida, wasn't he?
He did campaign, didn't he? He ran when Trump ran the first time.
He did, you're
Trump
right.
took the piss out of him.
Yeah.
They get pushed into it, don't they?
There's that clip of him where he's giving a talk in front of people and he finishes. It's dead silence and he's like, oh, please clap.
That's right.
Did they clap?
Yeah. But it's like, oh God, you don't beg your audience to clap you. It's not a good sign, is it?
No, what you do is if you're in that scenario, you start clapping yourself and no one can resist joining in applause. It may start gradually, but it will get louder. no one can resist it. It's like an unwritten rule of society. If one
What if
person
they
starts
did it,
to...
you just clapping yourself?
Well,
on
you just
stage?
go, yeah! And then
So
you
next
walk off.
time you watch somebody get run over, just stand there and just go, and then hope that like all the passers-by that are now fucking rubbernecking will start cheering, and then before you know it...
Well, first of all, it depends if the guy jumped over the car, because I'd applaud that.
Well, yeah, obviously. But no, he didn't.
Look.
He definitely got splatted.
In a sort of environment where someone has got up and spoken publicly, or done a song, or
No, he definitely got
performed,
splatted.
right? Not splatted. You know, everyone, if someone started, one person started to clap, then everyone else would. It's like an unwritten rule, isn't
Yeah,
it?
no, you are right, 100%.
That's what I did. I started clapping me. I just said, and thank you all, you've been a great audience, and then started clapping, and they'd applaud themselves.
Well, we had
That's good,
we had a round of applause at our friend Chris's funeral for Claire. When you did that poem thing, read that poem, you had a little round of applause at the end of that because someone started clapping because it was funny, and it was just like hit the nail on the head, and a few people just clapped, and then everyone started clapping.
It's also the fact she got up there and wrote it and did it. You know, I think that deserves what is a difficult point. Yeah, absolutely. So yes, I think we're going to split this into 2 parts.
Yeah.
Right. So come back next time for part 2, listener. I've been Ben. Thank you very much for listening. Don't drink the flavoured raid. Don't join a cult.
I've been Mike. Thanks for listening. Peace out. May the force be with you.
And I've been Claire. Thanks for listening. Keep an open mind, but not so open that it spills out your ears.
And I've been Pete. Make sure you tune in for the second part. Bye.